And we are live here on Esoteric Hours with Bradley Powers. I'm your co-host, Jim Andre. And today we have special guest, Anunnaki King. How you doing there, Benny C. Trent?
How you doing there, Jim Andre? Bradley Powers there. I see the Mystic Dragon there. Hello, everybody. It's me, Minister K.I., the Anunnaki teacher, K.I.
Hello.
Yeah. I greet you guys with peace and light. How's everybody doing today?
Doing well,
All right,
thank you.
Kate. Pleasure to have you, K.I.
I'm sorry? What'd he say?
He said it was good to have you. It's good to have you, K.I.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's good to hear from you. I heard you took a little time off.
I'm loving the top. The Pharaoh.
Yeah, I like that shirt. I like that shirt.
Yes. Yeah. It's Nefertiti. You know, with those people don't think about the symbolism when they have the snake on the head, or if they're holding at different amulets, it tells about the different realms that they have dominion over. Like what we was talking about the other day, Jim, with realms and dominions and dimensions. And
Right.
we was I was kind of stuck, like I said, when I catch conversations with you guys, I gets in my head and I run with it with my preaching and talking to the people I talk to. And they were talking about the differences between dimensions and realms. And Bradley, that's what we're trying to figure out a little bit more about. What is the difference? You know, when you denote it, difference is one thing, but what do you think the difference between dimensions and realms are?
Well, I think every dimension has a different type of realm.
Mm-hmm.
Every dimension is could be similar to another dimension, but different factors.
Right. Because like what Daisy 10 Ponies was talking about, what I was kind of feeling, I was telling her it was talking about the magnetism and everything of the earth, and everything that's in this universe is based off of magnetic energy. And she was saying that it feels like at times that, I think it was Chris also, that said it feels like that she's being pulled into another dimension, just like it's, the energy just feels like she's just walking into just somewhere different sometimes, that in the same place, but a whole different feel about the place where you're at, and that's, one thing with we were starting to do, do a little more study into that, with the new things that are happening cosmically, with the coronal holes in the sun and the different things like that, is going to cause different activity to happen on planet Earth, dealing with the cosmic level of it. I mean, that's a big picture type of situation when you're thinking about, the end of the planet and the end of days as we know it. But when you're looking at what's going to happen, and asteroids and different things like that they're working on in space to keep us safe here, it's something.
My internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. My internet connection was getting weak.
Yes.
I was going to say something. I forget what we were saying.
You interrupt me, Jim. I get to going.
Well, we're in this dimension. We're in this dimension, this realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's one source, a main energy source, the essence, which branches off into many different types of energetic frequencies. So that's where you get the differences of the energy itself from that one main source. that one main source is the source of energy with many different types of energies within it.
Mhm. And that's where I guess.
So it all depends on what energy you connect with. Whatever experience you're having is whatever energetic frequency that you're tuning into.
Mhm. Yeah, and mine right now is healing frequencies, where I'm learning more about the high F frequency that's in the DNA and in the earth. Like I said, I'm an Anunnaki teacher with the aspects of the Anunnaki God Ki, which was the earth and love, and that is my attributes, and that's why I pick up Ki as the Anunnaki God that I choose to call myself as.
And everything is natural. In other words, natural is what natural is the form of the word nature. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, nature need not a creator, for nature has a way of creating, producing, sustaining, destroying, and rejuvenating itself. Now, when you talk about healing energies, well, the earth can heal itself. It gets damaged over time. It heals itself, of course. So there's a healing energetic frequency. Now, whether anybody experiences that is whether they first of all can believe that they can, and secondly, have the ability to connect with it.
The ability.
Obviously, we know it's there naturally through nature itself, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Now, if you cut yourself, you don't even have to think about it. It'll just heal itself.
Mm-hmm. Because we can heal ourselves. I mean, we can actually heal some of these ailments and diseases if like you said, if you knew how, if you knew the keys to know how to open up those self-healing keys. Like, I use the My Medical Emergency devices that Chantel Redwave in her group kind of informed me on. And that's what one of those things, like we was talking in the conversation the other day, Jim, is just the combination of all the different type of knowledges and understandings that when you're searching for your answers to what you're looking for, that to not be closed-minded to what others think, that
Right.
whether it's on a cosmic level or earthly level, demonic level, whatever level it is, because all this information, like you guys taught me, that bad can be used for good can be used for bad, it can go both ways. So, if I'm trying to extract good, I need to focus on just that and leave,
that within itself is just a perception, Like I said the other day, something negative happens. You're going down the road, you're heading for work, right? All of a sudden you get a flat. Now you're pissed off, you're aggravated, you got to pull to the side of the road. You got to jack the car up, change a tire, get your hands all dirty. You're going to be late for work. But then again, if that didn't occur, you may have gone down the road a couple more blocks or another mile and got into a fatal accident or an accident where it would paralyze you for the rest of your life.
Right.
So in that case, that negative, what you perceive as being a negative occurrence, was actually a blessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my example with that, Jim, is like I tell people about my gangster days as a youngster. I used to be a gun toting and everything else, and I believe that God's energy just took me out of that. He might have put me in prison, but I was living a real heavy duty lifestyle. And some of those that's on here and people in my group, they know I'm telling the truth. They know what I've been through, and I believe that God took me out of that and put me in jail to get me away from that for a while, because like I said, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and I don't know if y'all know it had been the murder capital of the United States a couple of times, and it was really wild. And I think that, like I said, now looking back on my life, Jim, and like I tell you, some of the things, even the extraterrestrial, maybe even abductions that I might not know about, I look at the big picture now that I'm 54. That this might have happened for this reason. Maybe it was some intervention that was there to take me out and away from things that were life-threatening,
Well,
and I think about, yes, go ahead, sir.
The you know, it's different for everybody. Some people learn through their mistakes, others don't.
That's
And,
true.
and it all depends on your outlook on life, or how you perceive things, and what type of consciousness you have. Because within the game of existence, your consciousness is your awareness, okay? And your consciousness is the God, okay? And you get control over your own actions, okay? We're all captains of our own ship, and we can choose to navigate onto whatever course we feel like we want to navigate. So,
Right.
you know, like somebody can be a serial killer and go home and sleep at night. Others can't do that. It all depends on your mentality, how you conceive things, and your state of consciousness. Now, for those who are a serial killer, they're not going to get away with it. Even if they get away with it in this life, they'll pay for it in the next life, because that's how nature works. It balances itself off. It balances itself out. So, you know, what goes around comes around. That's called karma.
Right. And you say, like you said, you can't, you know, they're not going to get away with it this life or the next. Well, now with the help that I see that police forces and these cold case different detectives are using psychics and different things like that to solve these cases. Where, like I said, in the past, everything was taboo, and that was witchcraft, and you know, everything was stuck on the "in God we trust." You know, just with the dollar bill. I'm on to something else right there. But
in God we trust. All others pay cash. Right.
Exactly. You know, I try to be like, and try not to go too political against the United States on anything, but yes, that's where I was going with that. Oh man, but yeah, I'm like, in God we trust, because the government you cannot trust. Hey, I love America. I'm here, and hey, I have no. Hey, America, I love y'all, and any organization there, we do. That's why we're here. That's why we pay taxes here. We just want to know what's going on with the different type of creatures and the different beings and what we're seeing. We shouldn't be kept in the blind, because it's too much activity. And that's where I'm at, Jim. That's where my awareness for anybody in the world.
Yeah, that's their motto. Yeah, that's their motto. In God we trust, right? When it comes time to pay your taxes, you got to pay them cash, right? God's not going to pay that for you. You got to pay it for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump don't pay his. Look, who do we trust? Yeah, who can you trust? Yeah, that's a good one there. And like I was saying, that, you know, in the conversation we was having the other day, that, you know, like I said, that knowing now that there are beings now with the awareness of that there are different races of alien beings, and we know that our government, we don't know which one, made an agreement back in the days in the Eisenhower days. I mean, all the footage, if you see all these films and everybody's saying it, it kills me, these people that just try to deny everything. We know
you know, that wasn't just isolated countries. That was a few countries all in the same time frame. You know, Germany, they had connections with the aliens. The USA, I believe all major countries in the world at that time were aware of the fact. You know,
all top powers,
and as far as the Illuminati or the 1%, that's been around since 1776. So they've got a well planned out, drawn out endeavor that they're on, and what they do, they're good at.
Most definitely, real good at it. It's like even you know, talking to Daisy when she was talking about the organizations that, I'll say her family, I'm not gonna say which one, that was a part of it, you know, a business organization that was, you know, occult based. But you know, there's different type of, like I said, beings and different organizations whose agendas aren't always clear to people, you know, and that's the whole thing, that that just because we've been deceived by our government, why don't you think that there's different type of organizations that work on deceiving people? I've known of criminal organizations that deception is their thing, where they, like Ocean's 11, the movie, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 11, that, there's real teams that work out there to counter people like ourselves that are bringing real knowledge. It's been happening since Roswell, that they try to, the fake news us, or it's fake information, or to downplay what it is when you bring in, real truth and real information, and that's, that's one of the things that I figured that you would have to battle, once you pick up like shows like yourself that bring, this type of information that's been suppressed to most common people. And that's why I think it's awesome that, what you and Bradley do, and I give you guys accolades all the time. I see somebody's commenting there.
Yeah, we got a few comments. Lisa Ayo says, hello, Lisa. Eros Carrios saying, hello, everyone.
Hey, Eros.
Hi, Donny. Hi, Eros Carros. Hi, Lisa Ayo. I don't know how long the show's going to be. I've shared it, Jim. And as you can see, the amount of viewers we're getting, I've done my bit.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I just walked in.
Okay, now that you've done that, now you can join in on the conversation.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, and I will.
Hey, there he is, man.
Jim normally carries the show at the beginning.
Welcome aboard, Bradley. Welcome aboard.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
That's Bradley's whoop, whoop, Miss Kathy. I got Miss Kathy up in here. She said whoop, whoop.
Hey, Benny, you've got to say whoop, whoop.
Miss Kathy said, tell you whoop, whoop, Bradley. She said, the crazy old white lady said whoop, whoop. I told him, Miss Kathy.
We say whoop, whoop in Essex. Whoop, whoop. We also say bo, bo, bo yakasha.
Boom yakasha? What is that?
Yeah.
Boom yakasha.
Bo, bo, bo yakasha. That means when you're meeting someone.
Uh-oh, she said she's drinking. She can't do that one. Okay. Go ahead, Miss Kathy.
Yeah, I love your top. I do. It's very eye-catching.
Yeah, this one I love this one.
Where'd you get that, Benny?
It was an Egyptian.
Where'd you get that, Benny?
Huh?
Where'd you get that shirt?
I ordered it online on it was Egyptian clothing.
Wow, that's cool.
Facebook, and it has Anunnaki clothing because I eventually was going to try to start an Anunnaki clothing line. Because I have a few different businesses that I do also. People be wondering, does he just hang around and is a caregiver? No, I have a couple of businesses. I have a flooring company. I'm also a chef where I do God Sweet Love treats and more, where I mostly give them away to the homeless people or try to make cupcakes for them to sell and things like that. So like I said, I do a lot of things, with business wise where, I don't try to work a job where there's a paycheck, because it just seems like there's things that's tied along to paper trails. Like I said, I look into a lot of different things, Jim, and paper and a lot of things are connected that people don't understand there's different things. Let me just say it like this, that someone was telling me about how they gave a doll to somebody that someone put a curse on, and the curse worked. Now that just tells me, now if you could curse a doll and it happens, and that person had no concept of believing in what that person believed, then some of these energies and some of these different things can work, whether you believe them or not. You understand what I'm saying? Like with voodoo, they say it can't work if you don't believe it. But I don't believe so. If the person that it's going toward, if it's directed toward them, these energies can work on someone that doesn't believe it, but just learning how to get it off of you, is one of the things on the spiritual level that I'm trying to work on healing different things and how to identify when you've been either possessed spiritually or it's an alien making contact with you. Because most people don't know the difference.
As far as voodoo as far as voodoo, whoever's initiating it believes that that'll go to that person. So the other person is passive, has no idea either way about what's happening.
Right. He's just, he's just stuck in it. But then when he feels the effects, most people, because of TV and everything, what it is, but they get so scared. Most of them, they end up in a crazy hole. And that's where most of the governmental people that have been whistleblowers end up. There was one guy, I forgot what he was, but he jumped out the window, or supposedly jumped out the window. It used to be the head of the CIA.
Yeah,
That's
well,
right,
he got pushed out the window.
Yeah, but they said it was a suicide. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course, that's what they want you to believe. The
Exactly.
Lion's Pride says voodoo also requires a working knowledge of chemistry.
Yes, it does, because they use herbs and herbology and spices, and it's a earth-based religion, and like I said, the power is in it. Like I said, I believe most things. To believe in it is another thing. Like I said, I've studied a bunch of different religions. That doesn't mean I follow them. I'll call God Allah sometimes. That doesn't mean I'm Muslim. You know what I mean? But like I said, everybody has their...
Voodoo and hoodoo can wreck lives with curses. Voodoo and hoodoo can also enhance the lives of you and enhance the lives of mankind as well. Words are spells are spellings, and they work. Yeah, using words of power, they do work. Dragon magic is the only magic required where you don't have to believe. The summons and conjurer doesn't have to believe in the magic for it to work, because dragon magic works in its own right. But the other magic, you normally requires the conjurer to actually believe and have passion in what they're doing.
Well, I got a question for you. Bradley. As far as the dark side in voodoo, right? You say it can enhance one's life, but is there a price? Do you have to give something in order to receive what you're looking for? Everything has a price.
Yeah.
The price of existence is death.
Right.
Yeah, like a sample of hair, the saliva, something that belongs to someone is normally used in a voodoo ritual.
I'm saying, no, that isn't what I'm talking about. I'm not saying how do you initiate it. I'm asking if I want to enhance my life through black magic, do I have to sacrifice anything in order to receive what I'm looking for?
That's not true. That's a myth, that is. It is true, all right, it is true. You can sell your soul, but you don't have to. You could give the gift. The gift could be an egg. Egg represents fertility and birth. An egg. Then when you perform the ritual, you throw the egg out to Mother Nature, to let Mother Nature deal with it.
Right. But I've heard that most people think that to practice dark magic that you have to sacrifice. That there's the sacrifice in it.
Yeah, I'm back.
The Lion's Pride is saying to you, Bradley, be careful. Promoting voodoo can get the whole company into legal trouble.
Yeah.
People want to give for shit. Hello?
That is the truth, though.
Yes.
I'm not promoting it. I'm sharing information.
Yeah,
that's like what we do. We share information. It's not misinformation.
No, that's what I said. I do that also. That's what I tell people, that I share information, and plus that some information that I study and that I'm very into. Yes, I will engage in a conversation or a healthy debate on, but certain things that a lot of people call a lot of things fake news and fake information nowadays. And even some of the mystics and the psychics are being called fake in some of our groups, where and that's one thing that I'm really against, that that no one knows what energies that each person that can produce, because we can each produce, or we can each conjure each of these different spirits and different entities that are here. That's why they speak of them. That's why their names are there, so that you can call on them. But it takes understanding and knowing what it is that you're speaking to, and knowing what you're conjuring, and being careful, because sometimes that people divulge into these Ouija boards and satanic different things, and not just satanic, but even religious, because you can get hurt by God by messing with God, by sitting up there breaking some of his sins and being blasphemy. That's a sin. And some of the people in the church are going to have to deal with the blasphemy. So we all got different things that we put above others, because we think that ours is better than others, where we have to understand that it all comes together. Huh?
What makes hoodoo and voodoo toxic is what makes voodoo toxic is the passion. Hatred is a winner. Hatred can make something toxic.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like in fighting, they always taught to get mad, to change your thought when in Rome, do as the Romans do, as they say. That when confronted with war, change to war mode, And I think some people, because of the energies, go back to that energy, it's a lot of negative energies that are even affecting those positive people. And like there's a veil. It will be a veil to where the communication's not clear. And like you said, we get these hacks that we've been getting, on the internet and things like that, that's just trying to block when people are trying to bring positive. And I believe it's just trying to learn to get around them. It's going to happen. Like Jim said, the other day, he was talking about, it's always the destruction and the up and down. The civilizations have been happening since the beginning of time. And the things that we go through, as in those people back in those days that brought light and trying to bring people, they went through the same type of persecution. And nothing's going to change in this day. We're just in a new time, new era, new technology. I see someone's talking. Is that the lion? These are just my views. These are not everyone's views.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lion's Pride is saying hoodoo and voodoo are different. Hoodoo, voodoo, and voodoo are all different practices. Granted, they all have the same origin. I would say, yeah, different cultures, actually, as well.
Yes. Who is Facebook user? I see that person commented to me, Facebook user, who I wish I knew who that is. Someone inboxed me, and that's their profile, Facebook user. That kind of, I'm a Facebook user too. Who is that? But I was going to ask you, Jim, when you was just talking about dragon magic, what is the difference in dragon magic and regular magic?
Well, Bradley
Yeah,
would be
like
able to
I say,
answer that better than I would. Yeah.
With dragon magic, you don't have to believe it to work, because it just does.
Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, what is the difference between the two? I mean, like, you got common magic, and is it more hairpin, like what you're?
It's more imagination. Imagination. Magic requires imagination, hence the word I-mage-ination. I-mage. The mage uses his imagination. And candles, crystals can be used as additional instruments.
So
Lion's Pride says dragon magic relies on gravitational connections between things.
Yeah, okay, thank you for sharing that.
So it's
Lion's Pride, yeah, very good point.
More earth-based. I mean, like I said, he's like the denoted, but I try to chunk him in my brain, so it's more earth-based magic. Bradley,
Pardon me.
would you say it's more earth-based magic? I don't know if you can hear me. I think it's volume.
Bradley,
Yeah.
Would you
Benny's
say
asking you a question.
would you say dragon magic is more earth-based magic? Like you said, using roots and herbs.
Yeah, you could use anything with dragon magic. It's imagination required and passion, words of power for summons and conjuring. And with dragon magic, you can summon entities, or you can rely on magic with a K.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that some magic, some witches, I would say, use herbs.
Yeah,
and
Gaian
roots.
energy is
The
not Earth
Lion's
based,
Pride
Gaian,
says
Mother
I would
Gaia.
say it's Gaian energy, not Earth-based.
So it's more energy-based magic, not like something like a witch, because
Everything in existence is energy-based.
true. But what I'm asking is what I've been asking everyone is what Sherry finally told me. She's a spiritualist, even though she's a witch, and that's what I told her. So I asked her, "Would you consider me a spiritualist?" She said yes. So I said, "Okay, so I'm a spiritualist and I'm a minister." So that's an umbrella term. And I ask people, "What do you consider yourself?" Like Chris Joe Marie will say, "I'm an empath." Okay, and Bradley, like it says there, he's a mystic, and you're a researcher and paranormal, and that's what I'm asking people: what is it that they are, and what is it that they use to help people with what they are? Whether it be, it could be someone that's a devil worshiper. They might be helping other people, mystic, like Candy says, she's a mystic, and the umbrella. But what Sherry was saying was, that you're a spiritualist or, light bringer, you're a truth seeker. What is the umbrella that you consider yourself up under? I consider myself, what is that?
Arachnid. Arachnid.
What is that? What is that, Lion? How can you
Explain there, Lion's Pride.
please, Cassidy? Because he knows I tell him, he gets the terms and I'll be like, I need some help, bro. Okay, I can't.
Candace says, but ultimately all is self.
All is self. We're all, like you say, Jim, we all are part of that energy, that God energy, whether it's on a negative side or a positive side, because the polarities, like Candy's talking about, there he is.
In answer to the question, LOL and Arachnid is a spider.
That's what I thought, from that movie, but okay. I was gonna say something. I'm getting messages.
Lisa Ayo says, I'm an empathic spiritualist witch. I am making protection bags and stuff now.
Awesome. Who's that?
So
Lisa,
that would be a white witch, right? So rather than a working with the dark side. That's where freedom of choice comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what
there are over 50 varieties of magic that I'm aware of. 50.
Mm-hmm. 50 varieties of magic?
Yeah.
Have you dabbled with how many numbers of magic have you dabbled with?
I don't want to answer that.
You don't want to incriminate yourself, huh?
Am
I allowed?
There's Christ conscious impulse, and there's the
error man consciousness.
These are glasses. Hey Candy, hey sis, how you doing? Doing this thing. Strikes, it never something that they're willing to trade. That's true. The dark side is going. Sometimes the light side will wait. The dark side is going to let you know, like, bow. Like, don't forget I'm here. I know what you're saying there, bro.
Do you agree? Do you agree with that, Bradley? The dark side always extracts its price.
Well,
And
it
it's never
depends
some-
what your summon's in
And
and
it's never
conjuring.
something you would have been willing to trade.
It depends what your summons in and conjuring, you know.
Well, I can add to that. It depends on what's around you, and someone else might be conjuring something too. That's what I said. It might not just just because something hits you, it doesn't have to be coming from us. It can be, like you said, you can project energy. Jim can, I can, and some of these people know how to use it and push it on you and at you, and get the transference. And the demons have controlled them, or whatever entity it is, where they can, and have that ability. Now, us being aware of it, that's where I'm saying, Bradley, is now that I've been encountered with it here not too long ago, that the awareness and people to be able to tell the difference between whether it's spiritual, demonic, like Zach Bagans and them and Amy Allen try to show, and like the abductions, and to try to understand with the people that have been through it, the difference. So because some people, like Chris was talking about how she was scared last night when the dark shadow figures, and I was telling her how that I was working with Christina and Anna about the fears and trying to change their mental person into something that project, because what you project when you go into battle with something that's a mental or spiritual being, like they say, you have to have your armor on. Your mental armor protection over you. You have to have your sword, your rod, and your staff. They comfort me. I'm a real martial artist that uses those type of tools. And when I think that I'm in battle in my mind, I bring them to me in my dreams or whatever. Because like they say, what kills you in your dream or whatever. So if I'm possessed, I'm going to those weapons, what I'm skilled at. Or I change into that silverback gorilla, where I'm trying to get bigger or more fierce than whatever creature is on the planet, or I'll turn into an octopus if I feel like I'm underwater. But that's me.
Everything is based. Everything is based on the initial energy source, the essence.
Intense. That's right.
Right.
Within that energy, you have two opposite polarities. Now we all know what happens when them polarities go against each other, right? Right.
Yes, I experienced that.
Okay. So now you got the positive and the negative within that one energy source. Now what happens when there's a thunderstorm? Them two forces are going against each other, right? Now if somebody gets struck by a lightning bolt, right? Is that good or bad? Well, we would consider that bad.
Right.
But wait a minute. The cause, the energy itself, within that energy, there's both the positive and the negative. Who would you blame for? The positive side, the negative side, or both?
Jim, most people have been struck by lightning. They've been opened up to different type of superpowers.
Right, but I think the majority of people that have been struck directly by lightning have perished. So my question is,
most of them are gone.
My question is, right? Would it be the positive side's fault, the evil side's fault, or both?
It'd be the source.
Right.
I'd like to mention that I haven't used magic to cause harm to anybody ever. So I'd just like to say that.
Me either. I'm learning.
I am an ambassador for mankind. I wish to enhance the lives of mankind, not destroy it. I'm not in the business of wrecking lives.
If there's a such thing as white magic and black magic, if you could do good within the white magic realm, why would you dabble on the dark side to see if you can get this? Wait a minute. Why would you dabble with the old cult to see if you can get the same result?
Because the old cult was written scribed by prophets and wise men. and wise men make sense. You know, a wise man is wiser
Well, yeah,
than
and on the
the
dark
average man.
side, there's also a lot of deception. You know, which could seem to make sense,
Well,
but really doesn't.
Just like
abduction is not
I mean,
magic.
look at the light. Heck is going on there? Isn't doing
Well, we're
that.
doing well with show, Jim. I've got to be honest.
The
What do you
light's
say,
not
brother?
doing that in regular vision. In my camera, that light's doing that, but it's not doing that.
What'd you say, Bradley?
I said the show's doing really well, considering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seen Candy, that's one of the members of Tea on Sunday. If you guys, Tea on Sunday and everybody out there, that's some of the psychic people and everything, I believe that there's something that came. If you guys look at this light here behind me, what you guys are seeing on camera, it's not doing that here in person, but in the camera, I can see it like it's flickering or something, like it's doing like a wave pattern or something.
Yeah, I can see. We can see it. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's not doing that here.
I like what Candy said. It's about service to self or service to others. That's what it's about. I'm not a Dark Lord or anything like that. It's about helping others, you know, and not being malicious, you know?
So if you know that you can help others with white magic, why would you go to the dark side to see if you could also help them with that?
What I do is called black magic, but it's not really. It's been called black magic by the church, by Christianity, by people who are ignorant even. You call all the occult black magic when it's not. There's white magic in the occult.
So I think what
being no one that the Lion's Pride knows accuses me of black magic. They take those accusations from me. Jim, being a necromancer is a dark art.
Right. And that's where people don't understand me having necromancer abilities and being a minister of God, where they label it as a cult, but it's that dead talk to you or communicate through you is what a necromancer is. And that's what they do. I get flashes from some people's dead people and everything, and that's necromancy. That doesn't, a lot of people think the concept is an occult or devil worshiping, that the devil, because there's different stories that say that talk about necromancing the devil is what the difference is.
The occult is devil worship as well as goodwill to mankind. It's also devil worship, and it all gets classed under the same brush.
Well, then it's all the same. Then it's all the same, right?
It's not all the same, though, is it?
The only thing that's different. Listen, the only thing that's different is the intent.
Intent, meaning that the intent to do good or bad. Is that what you mean by the intent?
Exactly.
Or whether you're trying to do harm?
Yeah, when somebody gets struck and killed by lightning, right? It's due to the forces of both polarities at the same time.
Okay, what is most intents now are for riches? That's what most intents for witchcraft or any type of thing, or somebody wants to try to do the different pills to take more so that you can enhance your life and be rich and happy. I don't know anyone that's trying to go in the negative of a human life. I want to be the Dark Lord and live underground in a dirt cave or something like that. So I think all intent is for positive gain of some sort, whether money, power, or sexual gain, as a human being, I would think. So, the question I think the Jim is asking you, if you could do the same thing with light crafts, why would you use the dark crafts to do them? I think that's, if I'm not correct, because my answer to that would be whichever one works the best. Because with me, I want to, I'm not a problem. I'm a problem solver. So if I can figure out how to get something done, whether it's using this or that, if I can use a negative spark
to make it work better than I can use, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with what works, you know, whatever combination that is. So I think most people, when they're trying to figure out, okay, how can I get more money, or how can I get over this person at work? Okay, I'm gonna go do a curse on them, you know, so they look to dark magic. But some of those, like myself, that, you know, I want to pray for my kids and I want to send them positive and hopefully, you know, let God bless their money. I'm sending positive energy. So, you know, like you said, the intent is a major factor, but I don't think it's the only factor, because like I said, some people just do these practices for their own, you know, their own self, you know, but not trying to, somebody's not trying to do something to, I'm gonna make him rich, or, you know, God and king makers. That's not happening no more. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jim, you know.
No, it's all right. I already said it.
Who is Facebook user? I keep saying that.
You're right, Jim. Necromancy is about stimulating the dead, the undead, bringing them back to life, mentioning their names, activates them and stimulates them and re-energizes them, talking about them, their good deeds.
So Jesus was a necromancer.
Yeah, he was.
So if Jesus could do that, and anybody else who was a necromancer can do that, what's the big hullabaloo? Wait a minute, let me finish. What's the big hullabaloo about Jesus?
Not anybody could do it, though. I don't believe anybody could do what he did, because he was special. Well, he had, like I said, he had necromancer abilities. That doesn't make him.
Oh, it's Jim McFarland. How you doing, Jim?
Hey, Jim. Let me get my blue suede shoes on. There goes that light again. Say, Jim, look, the light start tripping there again. That's cool. Like I said, like what the necromancy and that with me, it's when I feel the flashes come, Jim, and it's someone's, you know, if it might be like I'm talking to you, and what I'm feeling now, if I think to feel about what's touching you or guardian angels, it'll probably be one of your parents, grandparents, or somebody deceased. So I'll start focusing on that. So when I'm focusing on that, usually I get a hit back, or somebody says, tell you hello, some lady, she has like a bib on cooking some muffins or something in the kitchen. It's like an old house in the country where it's a dog at the door, where it seems like you were about a teenager and you was going out the house and you were in a rush, like you was about to get in a car wreck that day and somebody was warning you. But like that, it's kind of necromancy, because it's like I flashed to, you know, it felt like something in, you know, that's one of your people that's passed from you. So that's a form of necromancy, but Jesus wasn't a practicer of just raising dead. He could bring anything to life. He was God manifest, you know, but some people
necromancer. Necro means black magic.
Mm-hmm.
That's by the church, but necromancer is a name given to describe someone who illuminates the dead.
Right. Illuminates, speaks to them, receives messages, it says, that, you know, can speak, you know, what they call divination from the dead to humans. That's what necromancy is. So that's why, you know, when I tell people, how do you label yourself? You know, I say with me, I'm polymathic in everything. I'm a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We all are. But what is your main focus? Like Chris, she said, I'm probably an empath. And why she's just an empath? Like Candace would say, she's a mystic. Shannon Baumgartner, she'll say she's a psychic. You know, she's a psychic. And that's what they are. That's what they were before. That's what they are now. And that's what they'll be then in the future. What you do on earth will shine in the afterlife. You know, these are my views. It's Sunday, y'all, so y'all know there's a lie in there. No, Jesus sometimes dabbled in what could be classified as necromancy by Hermetics, but he practiced a blend of Kabbalah and Tibetan self-possession. That's that possession?
Yeah.
I think that's possession, P-O-S. Yeah, because these glasses aren't clear. But yeah, like I said, a lot of people don't know about, you know, when Jesus went, you know, he was gone for a while. And they said that he had went, a lot of people in one book, it says he went to Egypt and studied with the adepts and learned the different crafts. Because some people say that Jesus was a magician and that he really didn't die on the cross, that he faked his death. And that when they came to bury him, the rich man that asked for his body because he really wasn't dead yet, just like what they use with voodoo and the puffer fish, where they can fake where the heart rate slows down and the breathing slows down and it can be reanimated back to life. But that's just a theory.
Well, the monks used to practice that.
Right.
I think Jimmy Collins asking Benny here, what's up with your light above the sink behind you, changing colors?
Hey, kid, can I borrow you for one of these?
Yes. Yes. I'm with you at company here. I can hear you.
Everybody's asking about your light behind you, Benny.
That's really strange. Like I said, I'm looking at it. If I take a picture of it right now, it's going to be just sitting there playing. It's nothing blinking. It is a fluorescent light, but what I'm seeing in the camera, I'm seeing it go. Are y'all seeing that out there, Candy? Are you seeing what that light's doing?
Yeah, we all see it. Yeah, we see it. Yeah.
And that's my point, Jim. Like even when we was talking yesterday, that people talk about the enlightenment, and even Jim Bradley was talking about this. There's different stages to enlightenment, and as you do these research things, like I did the CE5 with the laser pointers, and then I started seeing, there's the video with me in some of those videos I have of the light beams, and then different type of contact, because that's what it is, making contact. But they was already there in the first place. There's already beings that walk around in our dark matter, the electric magnetic in there. Once you open yourself up, the flow becomes to you more. The flow that you don't see, that's in the magnetics and the electromagnetics in the dark matter that we don't see, that we just pay attention to what we see, like the lightning bolts that our eyes can catch pictures of. But like I said, the feel of knowing the difference, if it's a demonic, like Zach Bacon says, it's usually lower back and usually see 3 marks. That's normal for fluorescent bulbs. To do like that in the camera, it must be just the camera then that makes it do that. That's what Candy says.
Necromancy is, for me, necromancy is connecting with spiritual entities, whereas Candy Fowler said, witchcraft is witchcraft. I would say that witchcraft is normally spells, using magic spells.
Mm-hmm. That's the light above me, Candy.
The Lion's Pride says, on whether or not Christ died on the cross, it has been scientifically confirmed that the earthquake that occurred at his moment of death was felt as far away as Russia. Take that for what it's worth. Thank you for sharing that, Lion's Pride.
And Lion's Pride, I'm loving that Russia is letting so much loose of their paranormal and their UFO. They're giving better disclosure than I think America is, to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the war going on, but the Russian disclosure information that they're getting, it's been awesome. Because like I said, I believe that extraterrestrials and different races of extraterrestrials have unified with different countries, different, have made, alliances, as they say, same way we did. So, and that's where a lot of the wars on the earth and everything come from, these different alliances and warring, different extraterrestrials. But that's something that Cassidy was explaining more to me about, that what's going on up there. Where, like I tell you, Jim, I used to kind of, shun some of the information that I was hearing from some of the star seeds, and I still shun some, because in everything, there's truth and falsehood in everything. But now I'm starting to understand now, since I've done these CE5 laser and CE5 sound with Dakota, Franzen, and Sherry, that there's a lot of things I hadn't paid attention to, and now I'm more aware. Bradley, I covered it when Russia tried to recruit us. Wow.
Thank you for sharing that, Lawrence.
On the Russian disclosure issue. So they've given up so much disclosure. The stuff they're giving is more You know, like I said, the papers that we get in the when the CIA disclosed, it was all blacked out. Everything's blacked out. You can't read just like two letters, CIA, something, and then blackout, blackout, blackout. Where at least Russia's showing us real footage from their aircraft, from their military, from their police, from all of the people that in this country that get suppressed, like Jim up there with his abduction, that I'm pretty sure that associating with someone that's been abducted and all of that, you know, that they, you know, it makes you taboo to some, you know.
Well, witches, why did they, in England, they burnt 30,000 witches at the stake for practicing witchcraft because witchcraft is evil. And that's not true. Witchcraft is not necessarily evil. It is evil, although it's also light as well as dark. It's both.
Yeah, they did the same thing in the U.S. back then.
Mm-hmm. Burn the books.
How many, Jim? Do you know?
Oh, hundreds. Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Wow,
Salem
really?
witch hunt. Yeah, the Salem witch hunt was terrible. Yeah, when that.
Yeah, they were all
when the
burnt at the
church-
stake. Yeah, they're all
Yes,
burnt
they
at the
burnt
stake. Yep.
thousands in the name of Christ, saying that if you could be, if you
Well,
was someone said
The
that
show's
you was
coming to its
practicing
end now. So,
witchcraft.
like, Jim, what was it you saying?
Was that, Brandon?
I'm not evil.
What was that you're saying, Jim? We'll let Jim talk now, KI, because like show's
Well,
coming to its end.
all I said was, yeah, they burnt hundreds of them at the stake in the 1800s, in late 1700s, I guess, early 1800s.
The Salem
Yeah.
witch hunt is what it's called.
Yeah,
The book,
yeah.
The Salem witch hunt. Yeah, actual occurrence. Where, like I said, they killed off so many of those witches. You could just be called a witch, just like back in the day when the communist thing they had here in the United States. You would be called a communist, and you could be persecuted. You could be called a witch and be persecuted in the 1800s.
Yeah, Candy says, I think about 10,000 altogether.
Yeah, and the Salem witch thing. Mhm.
Yeah, she says it started in the 1600s here.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, we're just about coming up to the top of the show, so.
Wow.
Well, thank you for your time, Jim. Thank you for your time, KI. Thank you for appearing at such short notice. We have got Bek Bek Birdie appearing on the show soon. She is Admiral Bayard's niece. Okay,
Niece,
and
yes.
the Admiral Bayard, who actually found the hold in Antarctica and contacted and other intelligent beings. So Bek Bek Birdie will be appearing on this show very soon. Meanwhile, thank you, Jim Andre, for helping me to present this show. Thank you, KI, for sharing your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. It's been a pleasure to have you all near us. And thank you to our producer, the Lion's Pride.
Okay, we'll see you all in the next one.
See you guys. God bless you.